Please be seated. Borodar, a croeso I Gaerdydd. Good morning and welcome to Cardiff, to the Utility Arena and our 2024 graduation ceremony. I'm Pat Young, and I'm the chair of the university's governing body, the University Council. Now, 37 years ago, I sat exactly where you're sitting. Well, not quite exactly, because we graduated in the Great Hall of the Student Union in those days. But 37 years ago, I sat exactly where you're sitting, preparing to graduate from Cardiff University. My time at Cardiff University transformed my life. And so it's a real privilege to be here with you today to celebrate this momentous occasion. May I offer a warm Welsh welcome, croeso, to family, friends and supporters, to our honorary fellow, and of course to you, the class of 2024. Today we celebrate the extraordinary achievements of students in three of our schools: the Welsh School of Architecture, the School of Chemistry, and the School of Physics and Astronomy. Graduating from university is no mean feat, so I commend you, not only for securing a place at Cardiff University in the first place, but also for the dedication and commitment that you've demonstrated to get to where you are today. Now, as well as gaining a degree, you will have also grown in myriad ways, and you have left your mark on us. Our architecture graduates would have experienced the built environment in visits to countries around the world, from India to the Netherlands, amongst others. Some of you will have helped shape your school as well, working in collaboration with staff and students on important projects such as the redesign of the undergraduate curriculum and engagement with the local community in the projects like the Grangetown Pavilion. Our chemistry students have seen and hopefully been inspired by school research which has a global impact. For example, new technologies developed by your lecturers with funding from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation are contributing to the programme to eradicate malaria in sub-Saharan Africa. Our scientists are also testing self-cleaning women's sanitary products in field trials in Nepal, a groundbreaking initiative which could significantly improve health outcomes for 50% of the population in some of the world's poorest countries. In physics and astronomy, you have been on placement research in America, research placements in America. Some of you have investigated particle physics at a world-leading UK Research and Innovation Institute, or won a medal at the 2024 STEM in Britain event held in Parliament. You too have spent the past 3 years being challenged and inspired by your lecturers from their work interpreting new images of the universe from NASA's James Webb Space Telescope, or their development of innovative technologies to find out more about the earliest stages of the universe. But now it's your turn. This is your day. You leave us knowing you are all equipped to tackle some of the most important scientific challenges of the 21st century. But I'll also share a secret with you. It's absolutely okay if you don't know exactly what you want to do next. I graduated in mining geology, and I've spent my entire career working in media. Your Cardiff qualification tells the world that you're ambitious, passionate, and have a brilliant mind, however and wherever you decide to apply it. So embark on the next stage of your journey with all of the confidence that that brings. For some of you, today will be tinged with sadness as you say goodbye to Cardiff. This vibrant, colourful and diverse city has been the backdrop to your journey through university. Of course, the charm and character of Cardiff is difficult to give up, and some of you may have decided to stay and call Cardiff home for the foreseeable future, whether that is through work or further study. Either way, as you cross this stage in a short while and step foot outside the front door of this arena, you will be doing so as a Cardiff graduate, and you will become a member of our thriving and global Cardiff University alumni community. Cardiff University will always be your university. So wherever life takes you, we hope that you'll be a flag bearer for this great institution and carry forward our values of kindness and generosity of spirit. We simply ask that you stay in touch, come and visit us often, and share your experience of Cardiff University with the wider world. For now, I ask that you sit back, enjoy the ceremony, and savour this moment. It is another special memory to add to the collection from your time with us, and your graduation will be something you can fondly look back on in years to come. I now have the pleasure of introducing Hannah Pearce. Hannah will read the proclamation and a poem by Wales's inaugural national poet, Gwyneth Lewis. Many of you will have encountered Gwyneth's work before in the form of the 6-foot-high words, which are thought to be the biggest poem in the world, inscribed into the front of the Wales Millennium Centre. Gwyneth has been writer-in-residence at the School of Physics and Astronomy and is now an honorary fellow. The poem, Education, was specially commissioned by Cardiff University.
Education by Gwyneth Lewis. Beiddi a feiddio, gwellhad y wneud. Myna geisio, parchad ddweud. Traws newidiad fydd dy glod. Dy ddyfodol, mentro bod. Learning's a passport that returns you home a better person. It permits you to dare being daring. Makes you secure with not knowing everything, helps you welcome some failure, forges an alloy with others' thinking. It is simple delight in mind and its motions, scintillates, but isn't deceptive, admits the joy of institutes, is the open road to everywhere but bigotry. It's the shortest distance between you and me, and if you're lucky, it never ends. I will now read the proclamation, first in Welsh and then in English. Nerth gwlad I gwybodau. Boed hysbys I holl aelodau'r Brifysgol ac ar hyd a lled y byd fod cynulliad o Brifysgol Caerdydd yn cael ei gynnal heddiw ym Mhrifddinas Cymru. O dan awdurdod Siarter Frenhinol y Brifysgol, mae'r cynulliad hwn yn cyfarfod I dderbyn y myfyrwyr, sydd yn rhinwedd I hastudiaethau a'i hysgolheictod, wedi'i harholi'n briodol yn unol â statudau'r Brifysgol, ac wedi'i cael yn deilwng o'i graddau. Wrth ddathlu llwyddiant y rhai sy'n graddio yn y cynulliad hwn, fe'i hatgoffon o'i cyfrifoldeb I gyfrannu o werthoedd y Brifysgol hon. Nod iddynt hwy, yw ceisio drwy y cyflawniadau wasanaethu lles pawb, ymdrechu I sicrhau rhagoriaeth ym mhob peth ac yn boeni am ddyfodol ein byd. Grandewch yn awchus ar ddoethineb, gan ei fod yn cynnig gobaith a gwirionedd ym mhob cenhedlaeth. Nerth gwlad I gwybodau, a nation's strength is in its learning. Let it be known to all members of the university and throughout the world that today, in the capital city of Wales, a congregation of Cardiff University is taking place. Under the authority of the university's Royal Charter, this congregation meets to receive those students who, by virtue of their studies and scholarship, have been appropriately examined according to the statutes of the university and found worthy of their degrees. We celebrate the success of those who graduate in this congregation, and in doing so, remind them of their responsibility to share in the values of this university. It is for them to seek to their achievements, to serve the common good, to strive for excellence on all things, and care for the future of our world. Be attentive to wisdom, for it offers hope and truth in every generation.
Bore da. I'm Georgia Spry, your Vice President Sports and Athletic Union President from Students' Union. Cardiff, it's a privilege to address you today, a day which you will all remember fondly for the rest of your lives. For many of you, today marks the end of an era and the beginning of the next chapter of your life. At the beginning of this journey, many of you had been faced with the exciting but daunting prospect of moving away from home, whether that be from Pontypridd, Portsmouth, or Peru, making new friends and perhaps living independently for the first time. None of these are easy feats, so for that, I congratulate you. During your time at Cardiff, you may have had to overcome some challenges. You may have been the first in your family to come to university. You may be a carer or have dependents and have had to balance that with university life. Or maybe you've battled with something else entirely. You should all feel very proud of what you have achieved, both personally and academically. The experiences you have shared together in a seminar room, a society, or a sports club, the opportunities you have embraced, and the relationships which you have built have made you into the graduate and person that you are today. As you reflect on your time here, let's acknowledge the hard work and dedication that brought you to this moment. It's not just about the degrees you hold, but the friendships you've made, the lessons you've learnt, and the growth that you've experienced. You may or may not know exactly what you're doing next, but as you step into the next chapter, carry with you the resilience you've developed and the memories you've cherished. Face the future with confidence, knowing that you're equipped to tackle whatever comes your way. May your care ever be for the good name of our university and the well-being of our world. Llongyfarch Iau Daw, Class of 2024.
Bore da, good morning. Athro Wendy Lana Dwi, I'm Professor Wendy Lana, and I have the enormous privilege of being the Vice-Chancellor of Cardiff University. My job today is to warmly welcome all those students who are here to receive their award. This, of course, is the bit of the ceremony we've all been waiting for, where the students' names will be read out by a senior member of the university. Please do celebrate the achievements of our students as they cross the stage by clapping, by cheering, or perhaps even by whooping. Once all the students for each award have crossed the stage and returned to their seats, they will be asked to stand. At this point in the ceremony and at other equivalent times, it is a tradition of the university for me to speak in Welsh to receive each group of graduates to their award. The Welsh phrase I will use when translated means, through the authority conferred on me by the university, I receive you to your award with all the privileges this confers. Congratulations. Toi ardurdod a raddwyd y mi gen y brifysgol. Dybaniach chi y gael eich dyfaniad a holfrentenau a ddaw unesgel. Llongyfarchiadau. I will now introduce Professor Juliet Davis, the head of the School of Architecture, who will present the architecture students for their awards.
I, Professor Juliet Davis, introduce those who have received the Bachelor of Science. Elia Akov. Melissa Akram. Jody Alau. Abdullah Al-Obeidali. Zach Atkins. Orialua Balogan. Kohana Badolivala. Emily Bezic. Michael Bissett. Lucia Boschetti. Alistair Brooks. Jae Hyun Byeon. Demirkan Beu Ukolol. Mariam Cisse. Catherine Chambers. Longyu Chen. Salma Chubayali. Bethany Clark. Rebecca Cleary. Ella Kuma. Adam Corney. Alice Cuttress. Kenneth Dillon. Demeter Dimitrov. Lauren Donahoe. Iana Dudnick. Jasmine Dumelo. Amelia Farman. William Freer. Maya Gabber. Charlotte Gay. Ewan Gibbs. Samuel Gittins. Olivia Goldenberg. Keris Goldsworthy. Thomas Goodwin. Charita Gouda. Emily Gray. Dylan Greattrex Taylor. Cameron Green. Arnav Gupta. Alice Gwyneth. Leo Hadlow. Agnes Hall. Oliver Hall. Rand Hamada. Annabelle Harris. Rachel Harris. India Hayes. Iana Heslop. Sophie Hilliard. Joella Hinsley. Keelan Hollis. Isabel Holmes. Ella Horrant. Hinako Hota. Chun Rui Huang. Thomas Humphreys. Madison Hunt. Alexander Hustle. Juliet Hyde. Isabel Jin. Shania John Poulet. Emily Jones. Zara Casley-Walmsley. Chu Kim. Joshua Kindlen. Freya Kirby. Rowan Kitto. Malavika Krishnan. Benjamin Kulagowski. Shrivinder Lada. Sophia Lambert-Jones. Grace Lok Yan Lee. Alisa Marianto. Zutong Lee. Shreya Majumdar. Yumna Mansoor. Daphne Marautsu. Olivia Matters. Rosa McKechnie. Laura McKnight. Tom McLellan. Borislava Mekushina. Jacob Midgley. Louis Morris. Leah Moruzi Jones. Alethea Ngo. Istvan Alexa. Peiyu O. Jake Paisley. George Palmer. William Paris. Anya Pavey. Sumaya Payamon. Cecily Bostick. Emmanuel Polidakis. Eleni Polidorou. Shri Potter. Emily Prust. Adiba Rahman. Alfie Randall. Hannah Rajayi. Kazia Revans. Ella Rolls. Hannah Rose. James Rowe. Wilhelm Salaveria. Rhea Samaha. Balraj Sangha. Eunice Say. Vanch Darshan Shah. George Shipway. Cara Smith. Martha Spencer-Jones. Ruby Staple. Brandon Stevens. Felix Storer. Yunting So. Sanjula Sundararajan. Lakshmi Vishnu. Jessica Surrender. Maisie Sykes. Shen Yi Ta. Catherine Towers. Annabelle van Delft. Joshan Verma. Mara Wojcilla. Nicholas Wade. Lily Waller. Sam Watts. Joseph Wiles. Joella Wilkins. Ashley Wilson. Isaac Wong. Cao Yel. Oliver Yelland. Kimberly Lee Ping Yong. I, Professor Juliet Davis, introduce those who have received the degree of Master of Architecture. Christopher George Adams. Abdallah Al-Hamdan. Alejandra Gutierrez. Maisie Atkinson. Phoebe Benbow. Connor Bryan. Priti Chatterjee. Jermaine Chock. Benjamin Cook. Maria Daliuri. Henry Denham Harding. Michael Dorsman. Elizabeth Eves. Theodora Filipopoulou. Mattila Ganasuria. Matthew Gibson. Evangelia Glency. Dominic Hart. Jasmine Hounslow. Anne-Marie Howick. Barney Johnson. Cameron Jones. Chinmay Kale. Tanya Kana. Elias Khalif. Chantal Leonard. Thomas Limbrick. Justina Matuszewska. Yoya Muraki. Annie O'Rourke. Claire Passo. Hannah Payne. Samantha Powell. Timothy Purbs. Hannah Rowlands. Avinash Rukanti. Jonathan Sadler. Isaac Slater. Hannah Smith. Sophie Smith. Lydia Sturgis. Poppy Suggett. Adam Summers. Tae Yik Teng. Sophie Berish. Rokas Vilchauskas. Charlotte Woodfield.
I, Professor Deborah Case, introduce those who have received the degree of Bachelor of Science. Thomas Ball. Maisie Bees. Aisha Baigam. Tyrion Bynan. Charlotte Megan Blakey. Oliver Bunyan. Nana Suwa Cargill. Jonah Cobham. Edward Mark Collins. Alexander Darling. Sophia Donaghy. Jack Donahue. Alice Gassio. Piper Gilbert. Archibald Girling. Georgia Fionn Victoria Hale. Owen Hardy. Saeed Hassan. Benjamin Frederick Haywood. Alexander Lewis Hill. Yestin Hopkin. Prodri Jenkins. Grace Johnson. Sarah Cayu. Gloria Ken Afolabi. Gareth Lau. Megan Law. Joe Lewis. Megan Lewis. Rhys Owen Long. Lauren Victoria McPherson. Joshua Hanlung Mayhew. Jacqueline Andrea Poppy Mayhew. Emily Meadowcroft. Rama Mohammed. Manon Mukuru. Matthew Nesbitt. Lewis Noble. Kevin Pathinatha. Emily Payne. Jack Plevin. Maximilian Floyd Portsmouth Leighton. Ravina Rai. Daniel Reiske. Naomi Ratnasingham. Ellie Rose. Keris Rolls. Charlie Owen Smith. Daniel Thompson. Cara Watkins. Cleo Amber Whitcomb. Madeline White. Alexander Robert Wishart. Zoe White. I, Professor Deborah Case, introduce those who have received the degree of Master in Chemistry. Jesaronke Adatona. Uluwatoki Akinkumi. Leonard Albert. Dan Broadgate. Benjamin William Brooks. Owen Coleman Clark. Alicia Vanita Damodar. Yuran Diaz. Esme Field. Hannah Hughes. Francesca May Hurdley. Christopher Stewart Jowett. Petru Alexander Andrew Kanayaru. Emily Kavanagh. Amelia Rose Keane. Ava Krizanovska. Emma Livermore. Sophie Martin. Mark Massia Quinlan. Jonathan Harry Pask. Isaac Pearson. Michael Penny. Lipa Petritite. Abigail Robson. Jade Spector. Aswin Sujith. George Thomas Sutton. Sophie Trinder.
I, Professor Hayley Gomez, introduce those who have received the Diploma of Higher Education. Lloyd Clive Thomas. Gabriella Elizabeth Marguerite Horbury. Introduce those who have received the degree of Bachelor of Science. Benjamin Ainsley. Mohammed Al-Sawafi. Eleanor Anfield. Elliot Walter Atherley. Jack Barras. Keir Marcus Begley. Edward Bish. Samuel Hugh Campbell Lenderam. Rhys Joseph Copler. Kaylee Cotton. Luke Michael George Crook. Elena Maria Trahan Davis. Lily Della Valle. Robert Dimitrov. Jack Easton. Jake Echeverry. Hayden Estcourt. Luke Gager. Noah Goodwin. Stephanie Hardman. James John Hughes. Thomas Ainsley Jacob. Joel James. Jack Jennings. Matthew Calathara. Ali Katani Zeda. Connor Kewin. George Little. Matthew Thorin Ludlow. Jack Meller. Matthew James Murray. Anya Lua Olokeri. Artemis Peck. Benjamin Pepperell. William Daniel Phillips. Elias Paul Pierres Plumley. Ellis Anthony Pitcher. Bai Yu Chan. Jennifer Roberts. Tasnim Darwish Yanajal Al-Balushi. Samuel Ben Roberts. Matthew Robinson. Alexander Brian Sibley. Trisha Loy Lustico Tan. Jacob Wakely. Lily J. Ward. Romilly Kate Watkins. Joseph Whitaker. Luke Wilkinson. Dylan Williams. Finley Ramsden Wise. Jacob Woodhouse. I, Professor Hayley Gomez, introduce those who have received the degree of Master in Physics. Torre Adams. Oshada Amarasinghe. Dan Colin Biajaru. Lewis Michael Churchill. Jemima Elizabeth Coleman. Alexander John Kund. Charlie Dennison. Thomas Rhys Evans. Anoop Singh Grewal. Emma Claire Gurney. Sophie Rihanna Hall. Emily Joy Mawayana Abla-Jones. Kavitha Karanusilian. Adam Keatsman. Fraser Lewis. Benjamin Miles. Alid Misra. Nathan Pavley. Niels Rem. Jack Ridgely. Angelos Dietzas. Casey Elizabeth Stolzenberg. The Vice-Chancellor will now confer the award.
Would all the students who have just crossed the stage please stand? Toi dydod a raddwyd o mi gan y brifysgol. Dybaniach chi a gael ec dyfaniad a hofrentenau a ddaw unesgel. Clongoffaciadau. Please be seated.
I, Professor Gavin Shaddock, introduce those who have received the postgraduate certificate. Fahida Jabin. I, Professor Gavin Shaddock, introduce those who have received the postgraduate diploma. Chloe Loader. Jesse Joel Barnes. Holly Davison. Harry Evans. Ollie Griffiths. Joshua Hyland. Mukau Lee. Alice Georgia Jones. Sarah Kasim. Estira Carolina Kellner. Kristen Lacey. Simran Lal. Alexander McCormick. Ben Palmer. Pooja Shaljil Lal. I, Professor Gavin Shaddock, introduce those who have received the degree of Master of Arts. Tanvi Sanjay Darak. Ariba Imran. Lee Suju. Tahsin Nurun. Darshan. Hao Wang. Yifan Zhang. Zong. I, Professor Gavin Shaddock, introduce those who have received the degree of Master of Science. Hani Jafar Abdul Sain Abdul Mahani. Stephen Abraham. Susie Adams. Mehdi Ahmadian. Huda Tariq Arafa. Al-Arfaj. Thank you. Noor Albita. Kadira Al-Sadeh. Miguel Alvarez Perez. Olivia Astle. Monisha Babutletha. Alex Barber. Sam Bassett. Anuja Benjwal. Kadre Lee Spogans. Adeline Ria Braggs. Charlie Kieran Brayson. Hugh William Chadwick. Connor Kristen. Deep Das. Eleanor Davis. Christopher Anthony Dorr. Mark DeQuitt. Sharute Desaye. Aaron Dominic Edge Stenson. Angela Franco. Ben Fry. Kin Jing Fung. Nithu Gagarin. Batul Youssef Gahamen. Catherine Ann Gray. Georgia Gregg. Jamie Michael Hall. Summer Harris. Finn Headley. Alexander Houghton. Shreya Ingley. Alex Louise Ingram. Andrew Irons. Shrankla Jeswal. Njad Meher Joish. Sarah Jafuri. Emma Lauren Johnson. Ruthvik Josie. William Kelly. Hamza Khan. Ashwara Koltothkudilia Vinu. Ashruta Kokatar. Helena Victoria Crome Krabarode. Shatrat Kuhim Vida Namber. Nikatha Kunti Mudi. Met Coots. Hao Wong Lam, Lauren Lin, Ashwara Miland Mahajan, Maria Manjud, Emma Breach McCarthy, Jayakathy Murali Dharma, Vijay Ganesh Murugasan, Hiroki Kevin Nahara, Kimberly Chelsea Nicholson, Simon Parker, Max Paulus, Thanaya Peringatali, Huanzi Yun, Rishi Balalji Rajan, Kira Ruth Roberts, Femina Rosaline, Michelle Salamoon, Sudura Sankaran Raman, Pavali Sati, Ravi Rakesh Shah, Rahul Sharma, Philmon Sise, Bhavana Subramania, Ashuri Viruvenkatasamy, Adam Stephan Threfal, Sharon Mary Thompson, Gauri Verma, Vijathatha Vijarara Gavana, Eleanor Warren, Gwen Ann Welldone, Jordan Taylor Wilson, Nikyla Liz Wilson, I, Professor Gavin Shaddock, introduce those who have received the degree of Master of Philosophy. Josie Travers Nabalek, the Vice-Chancellor will now confer the award.
Would all the students who have just crossed the stage please stand? Twy ar dyrad a raddwyd y mi gen y brifysgol. Dybynech chi y gael eich dyfyniad o hofrentenau a ddaw yn esgel. Clongoffaciadau.
The following students to be presented have achieved a doctoral degree, and in recognition of their achievements and research, they will be presented to the presiding officers, who will doff in return. I, Professor Gavin Shaddock, introduce those who have received the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Dima Mizer Alizai, Dr. Michelle Musad Al-Harbi, Dr. Zishan Ahmad, Dr. Mohammed Fahed Al-Ghafis, Dr. Alam Mubti Alumateri, Dr. Sheikha Al-Musa, Dr. Maha Al-Dwan Al-Ashuredi, Dr. Dafer Omer Al-Shaharami, Dr. Michael Anderson, Dr. Joseph William Askey, Dr. Jack Baker. Dr. Amelia Bantelli. Dr. Ryan Anthony Beckerleg. Dr. Charlotte Braithwaite. Dr. Joseph John Brame. Dr. Jehao Sui. Dr. Luma Daradke. Dr. Siu Duan. Dr. Matthew Edwards. Dr. Gayatri Eknath. Dr. Albra Aljihani. Dr. David Fiocco. Dr. Sophie Fitzgerald. Dr. Lucas Geerlix. Dr. Isla Gao. Dr. Will Griffiths. Dr. Francesca Melina Guernaldos Diaz. Dr. Gerwin Jones. Dr. Kennedy Jones. Dr. Panato Kolisidou. Dr. Igor Kovalets. Dr. Betty Alfresco Custanania. Dr. Naomi Laws. Dr. William Lee. Dr. Giuseppina Magri. Dr. Joe Markney. Dr. Scott Manifold. Dr. Maria Luz Navarro El Slava. Dr. Halima Yahya M. Otaif. Dr. Eleanor Parag. Dr. Hugh Popel. Dr. Philip Relton. Dr. Andres Richards Gonzalez. Dr. Thomas Robertson. Dr. Loizos Sava. Dr. Natalie Sawicka. Dr. Matthew Stewart Shaw. Dr. Libov Sikani. Dr. Chris Smalley. Dr. Arjun van der Berg. Dr. Jake Oliver Williams. Dr. Bethan Winterson. The Vice-Chancellor will now confer the award.
Would all the students who have just crossed the stage please stand? Troi ar dydod a raddwyd y mi gen y brifysgol. Dybaniaf chri a gael i'ch dyfaniad o hofrentenau a ddaw yn esgel clongoffaciadau.
Boreda, good morning, everyone. We come to the part of the ceremony that celebrates distinguished people for outstanding contributions within their field and to society, to Cardiff, Wales, and the world. Today's honorary fellow is Professor Timothy Killeen. Professor Killeen, like you, will be recognized and rewarded. His success is part of your day's success. Damaglaifai no di ein het megeth en bachter andiolch urs gwafleno cumradoriaithai agradai anredith. The recognition is given through the award of an honorary fellowship. Professor Killeen is a geophysicist and a space scientist. He currently serves as the 20th president of the University of Illinois system, which comprises campuses in Urbana-Champaign, Chicago, and Springfield. The University of Illinois is the state's largest system of higher education, with almost 100,000 students. In addition to the 3 main campuses, the system has regional campuses, a health hospital and clinics, research facilities, and extension offices throughout the state. Since taking office in 2015, Professor Killeen has championed efforts to expand research discovery to drive progress and job creation. He has led the development of the Discovery Partners Institute. As an interdisciplinary private-public research institute and hub of the Illinois Innovation Network, the DPI is a world-class research, technology, talent development in downtown Chicago. At Cardiff, we are extremely proud that in 2019, we were the first international partner of DPI, an excellent network that now contains almost 20 leading academic institutions worldwide, such as the University of Chicago, Northwestern University, Tel Aviv University, and the National University of Singapore. Professor Killeen champions the Illinois Innovation Network, a system of satellite hubs that combine research, public-private partnership, entrepreneurship, and workforce training. Professor Killeen is also an outstanding geophysicist and space scientist. He has authored almost 500 publications. He has served as editor-in-chief of the Journal of Atmospheric and Solar Terrestrial Physics. He has been the principal investigator on research projects, for instance, for NASA and the National Science Foundation. Professor Killeen was elected to the National Academy of Engineering in 2007 for interferometer design and measurement and modeling of the properties and dynamics of the upper atmosphere and ionosphere. He's a member and past president of the American Geophysical Union. He has served on various White House committees and task forces. Tim was also born in Cardiff and grew up locally in Roath and Splott. He went to St. Ichtit's Catholic High School. Founded in 1923 by the De La Salle brothers, St. Ichtit's was the first Roman Catholic school for boys in Wales. Tim played rugby, and is very proud of that, for the Cardiff Boys, who are an important part of Cardiff School's rugby union history. He earned his bachelor and doctoral degrees at University College in London. Tim is a US citizen, but he's also a very proud Welshman. On a recent visit to Cardiff, Tim noted how growing up in Cardiff has created a deep appreciation of the importance of education as a life changer, not just for him, but for all current and future generations. So for Tim, Gwyneth Lewis's poem, which we heard at the beginning of this ceremony, has indeed come true in that education really is the open road to everywhere that never ends. I will now present a distinguished individual who is to be awarded an honorary fellowship of Cardiff University. An Cwrdysis gan chi chor, cyflaenoi chi I rai sydd I derbyn an gymrodyr anrhydif Brifysgol Cardiff.
Troi awdurdod a raddwyd y mi gen y cyngor. Dybaniach chi fel Cymroed yr Enredaeth Prifysgol Caerdydd.
Borada. Thank you, Professor Alleman, for your kind introduction. This fellowship is just remarkable, and I am so privileged and honored to be included in such a distinguished group, including the wonderful faculty, and both current and past honorary fellows. To all of the graduates, heartfelt congratulations on your amazing achievements and your unforgettable journey. These are indeed historic times of incredible challenges and opportunities, and it is your generation, you, truly the greatest generation, that will lead us all forward to a better future. As the proud president of a prestigious university system with almost 100,000 students in the United States, I need to hear your whooping, as the Vice Chancellor mentioned later on. I have a front row seat to world-class educational excellence. But yes, I was born and bred in Cardiff, and just to prove it, I can say it this way: Cardiff. I went to schools in Roath, Splot, and Llanrumney. Did play rugby for Cardiff Boys, scored a try on the Cardiff Arms Park, but it was a collapsed scrum, don't tell anybody. And I passed the 11+ examination right here in the university, and phew, I recall the anxiety like it was yesterday. My grandfather was a teacher of Latin in Cardiff, and my mother was one of the very first female medical doctors to qualify in Wales. My dear wife, our daughter, one of my sisters, and her husband are here today. When in Illinois at home, I sometimes have a severe case of chiraith, or nostalgia for Wales, and thanks for dispelling it so effectively today. We called my grandfather Tidy, which I think is Welsh for granddad, and there is a working NASA satellite instrument named Tidy that passes over Cardiff twice a day, built by my research team in Illinois. Well, Tidy is actually an acronym, but I chose the name, and it's a very meaningful one for me for reasons unbeknownst to NASA, so please don't tell that either. Tidy looks down from Earth orbit to observe the dynamics of our changing atmosphere. Now, your world-class Cardiff University focuses on education, research, and service, and I am proud that we have forged a major new and generous multidisciplinary collaborative partnership between the University of Illinois, your home away from home, and Cardiff University. Education, research, and service. Because of my grandfather's Latin teaching, I often think about the etymological roots of words. Starting with education, it comes from the Latin educare, implying to nourish, lift up, and lead forward. Research comes from the medieval French rechercher and implies to wander around, explore, and seek out and communicate the truth. But since the word service is connected to servitude, I'm not going to use that root. I look beyond that word's root and simply want to share with you my favorite quote for service. And it's by Rabindranath Tagore, the Bengali poet, writer, scientist, musician, philosopher, and the very first non-European Nobel laureate for literature, who used to visit and stay at the university in Illinois. Tagore wrote, and I quote, "I slept and dreamt that life was joy. I awoke and saw that life was service. I acted, and behold, service was joy," end quote. Sounds a little bardic there, traditional, right? So as you go forward from here, distinguished graduates, I hope that you feel deeply empowered by your wonderful university to use your skills to nourish and lift up society, to wander and explore, seeking out and communicating the truth, and to recognize deeply in your heart, and particularly every time you look into the eyes of the youthful and the eyes of the needy, that service is pure joy. Thank you for welcoming me here and for this outstanding honor, and congratulations once again to all of the graduates, but I really want to hear it. Congratulations, class of 2024.
Thank you, Professor Killeen. Well, the doffing is over. Congratulations. You are all now part of the Cardiff University alumni community. Yeah, you can clap. Why not? Cardiff alumni are great global citizens. Some are activists and have high profiles. Others are quiet, solid contributors to their community. Cardiff will have given you more than just a degree. You've been encouraged to ask questions, to challenge conventional wisdom. You have shown a willingness, determination and spirit, which are the real hallmarks of a Cardiff graduate. The word Hiraeth is made for moments like this. It conveys a sense of place, of love, of longing, of memories. And we hope you'll keep Hiraeth in your hearts for Cardiff University. Before we close the ceremony, there is one last important Cardiff University tradition we need to uphold. Whilst today is all about your achievement, it's not something you've achieved on your own. You have been supported by your friends, family, lecturers throughout your degree. And so I'm going to ask the new graduates to stand, if they're able. Everyone in the hall made a significant amount of noise for you. I now want you to try and seek out your friends, families, partners, loved ones in this audience, and if they're not here, to think about those people who are probably watching on YouTube. And I want you now to make a real noise to say how much you thank them for their support for you over the years. Let's hear it. Come on. Okay, I'm not sure if it's because you can't see them or because you didn't quite hear me. We had some social scientists in here yesterday. They made much more noise than you did, and we are all scientists, so let's not let the side down. Can I hear it, please, for friends, family, and people that supported you along the way? Let's hear it. That's much more like it. Thank you for not letting the side down at this late stage. Now, to close the celebrations, here's a film welcoming you to the Cardiff University alumni family. At the end of the film, please stand as the platform party leaves and the ceremony draws to a close. You don't just need to stand, you can shuffle, you can even dance if you want. And thank you for joining us today, and congratulations once again. Diolch yn fawr iawn.
Take a look around you. Be welwch chi? What do you see? Class of 2024. Today we take stock of everything we've achieved and say thank you to those who always believed. So scroll through memories, cymryd selfies gyda'r besties, and stand up straight for the photographer. Say cheers. Today we remember how we got this far. The late nights and bright lights, and moments we didn't do as well as we might. Pob dyddiad cau, dyfal barhau, o weithio'n galed i'r dathliadau. Today we're rewarded for all the hard work that started way back with the first steps we took. Dropped at Talabont, Nghennydd, Aberdare, Aberconwy, I ganol y freshers, heb wybod lle I fynd, heb nabod bob un, nes canfod ffrindiau oes yn neidiau hoff cytun. First dates.
Soulmates.
I'm gonna start crying at this rate. Today we're part of something that's hard to describe. The new class of an old tribe. A tradition that'll be there our whole lives, a network that continues to help us thrive. Years from now, we'll see someone with a badge on their tie or hear people on a bus shouting,
"Cheese drive."
And we'll remember where we came from, where we came into our own, where we made our mark. Canfod Cartref, where we found a home. Today we make noise like it's the varsity game and count ourselves lucky we found people with the same interests, hobbies, byd o'r hiwmor nes bod ni'n folly. People who tried to shelter us with broken brollies. People who helped us find our limits and push them out the way. People who helped us get to this point.
On this day.
Today is a day we mark everything we've shared. A day we tell people just how much we cared, that they were always there, even when they couldn't be. Roedden ni'n gwybod y deiau eto hael lyfryn for all the long hours we've had to put in. We still had those nights that went right through till dawn, and days we dug deeper than ever before. So here's to those late night revisers and early risers, to sunny days that passed by in Butte Park, to that special someone who gave us that special spark and helped us to grow, to transform, to dream. Today's for that someone we're proud to have at our team. What happens tomorrow is whatever you choose. Go make news or break news, but absolutely refuse to be told that can't be done, because we've only just begun to make records and break records and make history and break history and say,
Dyma fy myd I. This is the world I want to see.
10,
20,
30,
40.
Years from now, you'll look back on today and realise you've been by your side the whole way. But right now, right here, let's savour the moment and say, Llongyfarchiadau, congratulations. Let's get the celebrations underway. Take a moment, look around you. Be welwch chi? What do you see? We're Cardiff University. Croeso, welcome to your alumni community.